Post it back now. So I'm live right now as we speak. So all right, cool. All right, later. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that was the co-host. I'm gonna pop this there. Upload that. So, ladies and gentlemen, for Vape Wise, currently since I'm waiting for the co-host to come in, billet box with the wicked alpha. Then that has some green apple peach in that with some Dave Watman coils. Got Aegis Legend on top of the GT4 on top of the Aegis Legend with some key lime pie. Is everything working perfectly fine? Can y'all see this handsome face? Let it know in the comments. Can y'all see this handsome face? Let it be known in the comments below. Can y'all see my handsome face? Yeah, it seems to be working perfectly fine. Ew, I sound like a douchebag. What the fuck? But shout out to Job Vapes or Job Reviews and Nick the 420 Kid and the Vaping Jester for having me try out Dave Watman coils for the vapes. Bulb lighters, one word. Yeet. How's everybody doing today? Let it be known what's going on. How's everybody doing today? You feel me? In fact, let me text Nick the 420 kid right quick. Let's see if we can get him to the stage. There we go. There's that sexy old fucker.
No, I'm hearing the wood behind you.
Do you have YouTube still open?
Maybe.
That's
No,
probably
no,
why.
I don't. No, I don't. I just shut it.
Uh, audio controls. How's that?
I, nope, I still hear me echoing.
Oh,
Maybe I gotta put on headphones.
you echoing. How's that?
I don't know. No, I'm still there. Hang on, let me.
All right. I don't want to lower the volume and all of a sudden, you know.
Now do it. No, I still echo.
Uh,
I hear you. I hear you.
you hear me echo.
No, me.
Uh, how's that?
I don't know. Nope, I'm still there.
Yeah, I'm trying to adjust the volume, but I don't know what's going on. Uh, I don't know. Let's just work with it because
I
I
can.
don't know.
If Chat's not hearing it, I can live with it.
Yeah, Chad doesn't hear it. I don't hear it.
Yeah, I'm hearing a feedback of me rather.
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from.
Me either. I've done headphones and all.
Yeah, it's probably my microphone picking up or some shit.
Well, that could be. Because I'm background noise to you, and your microphone cuts out to you. Yeah, I get it. Anyway.
Yeah, because that's what always happens all the time.
Yeah, anyway. I can live with it.
So how you doing, sir?
Good.
Looking phenomenal like always.
Oh, I don't know about that. You might be blind.
I have glasses. I just choose not to wear them. You know, my father is kind of an idiot. So as you know, he has the same hat you're wearing right now. That weekend I went to my godmother's. His dumbass threw it in the laundry bin, didn't tell me, so the hat got washed. Ruined the entire hat.
Oh.
I was like, what the fuck did I do? So as I tried mentioning before, but I didn't know that there was just a black screen. Dude, they're still targeting the vapes. What the fuck? I was talking to Mr. Stevie Marquez last night, and about one of these websites Chuck was telling us about years ago, alongside Fast Tech, 3F Vape,
Yep.
and shit like that. It was a Share Vape, and I was talking to Stevie about that. And
Hey, Nick.
What's going on, Nick? But yeah, Nick, I gave you a shout out for the Dave Watman coils. But yeah. So freaking me and Chuck were talking about it. Me and Stevie were talking about it. Bro, they want just for one singular device, they want you to pay a tariff on the shit. I thought it was just for Canada or the other countries like Germany and shit like that. No, it's for China too.
Yeah, China's another country.
China's a douchebag. Because from what I was talking about,
that goes without saying.
Well, no, because from what I was talking about with Stevie, fucking, and Stevie, if you're watching or listening, please don't get upset with me for saying this live. But I was talking to Stevie last night about it. Apparently, that tariff money that China's supposedly getting, they're fucking pocketing that money. So the money I would have spent, the $126 I would have spent, plus the tariff, to bumping it up to like 200 or some shit. China's pocketing that shit to keeping it for themselves.
That's why Trump
But apparently, from what I was talking with somebody from Vapes by Nushi, apparently the fucking tariff, there was gonna be a tariff increase. Everyone thought it was gonna be a decrease. No, it's an increase.
Yeah, but the war's not down. He's still setting precedents around the world with tariffs and shit. And people are going to find out that, wait a minute, I've been charging you 100% tariff for 30 years, and you've been charging me too. Okay, maybe that ain't.
Right, but here's the thing, Jim. Look how many years we've been ordering shit from China.
Yeah.
Half of us that got shit from China, whether it was from Fast Tech, 3F Vape, we've never gotten hit with an extra charge.
No. Until but if you were in China and bought something from us, you would.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. For years, we've been paying tariffs to them.
Right.
They haven't been to us.
Right.
And now, instead of sucking it up, you're paying it. Because China's not going to pay it. You're going to pay it.
Right. I never paid. The thing is, when I ordered, as you know, when Fast Tech was still around and everything,
yeah,
I never had to pay any tariffs from them. I just
because
had to
China could ship here for free.
Yep, I just had to pay. I just had to pay regular price plus whatever shipping was.
But that's
Same
what
thing
a
with
tariff is. A tariff is a tax to sell your product in my country.
Right.
We never charged them to sell here, but they would charge us.
But you know what I'm having an issue trying to understand why some of these companies like 3F Vape and fucking what's it called, Shara Vape, 2F Deals, since June of, and I've noticed this is June of last year. Maybe you could explain this. Since June of last year, on the shipping, once you go to check out and everything, one of the shipping methods is e-packet by China. What the fuck is an e-packet by China?
Probably some startup company trying to start doing delivery.
Because the more I try looking into it without asking people like yourself and Chuck and shit like that, what, like the proper question of what it was, I searched it up and it said, oh, it's just a faster way of shipping, so that way you can get it by yourself, get it real quick. But yet my father says, listen, whether it's that free shipping or the regular shipping that you have to pay for, it's all the fucking same shit. You're gonna get it in the same time frame.
I was just gonna say, I've paid premium shipping before, and I still got the same time a little bit of free shipping.
Listen, even if I were to order, like for example, now Nathan in chat knows I'm a huge wrestling fan. So if I was to order a high premium and a high quality wrestling belt from China, guarantee you what I would have had to pay a tariff on that shit too.
Probably, yeah.
And yet it's not even vape related.
Yeah, but the tariff's not only on vape. It's just
on everything.
Yeah.
Toys, collectible items, everything. It's hitting everything.
Yeah.
So the way I see this shit is like, okay, you as a country, if you don't want the tariffs to affect you, then you need to take away the shit. All, in my honest opinion, I understand, from how you explained it when we're in Zoom with Chuck and them, and how you explained it, I understand tariffs are supposed to play a big part in shit. But if you don't want to get hit with the tariffs, don't charge us with the tariffs.
But that's what Trump's trying to do with all that. He's trying to say, look, man, make it reasonable and I will. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Fair.
Exactly. You want a 1% tariff, then you got to do the same shit with us.
Exactly. That's what he's trying to do. And the thing they won't give on, it's driving the companies to build here. Because if they build it here, they can sell it here without tariff.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is just the fact that, everybody's complaining, oh, well, Trump's charging a 98, and this is just an example, because I don't know how much Trump's charging for a tariff. Oh, Trump's charging a 98% tariff rate just for us to fucking get shit.
But they're charging 150.
Exactly.
So,
whereas from Canada, though,
I get it. It sucks. We're all affected by it. But you got to break shit before you fix shit.
Whereas from Canada though, because Canada is a part of North America and shit like that, I only had to pay 18% fucking tariff.
But that's the deal he struck with Canada.
Yep.
If you buy from the Philippines, you're going to pay a different percentage because he's got a different agreement with them.
Yeah. Of course, but all these countries want that low to no tariff rate, and they're not willing to cooperate.
But that's the whole idea of the game is, now you're going to be more apt to buy from a country with a lower tariff.
Yep.
So now they're going to benefit, you benefit, we benefit, and the other countries go, maybe we better follow the line.
Right, but then again, check this though. Because this is going to fuck your head up. Because it sure shit did mine. So, of course, one of the vape stores out here in the States, right? Selling mostly high-end fucking vape products. Like the RBAs for your borrowed devices, my borrowed devices.
Yeah.
they were selling the same RBA that's in here in a black color. They were charging a 5% tariff rate just on that. I'm like, you're in New York. Why are you charging a fucking tariff rate?
Because they had to pay to get it.
Okay, I understand. You have consumers in other countries that want to fucking buy shit from you. But if you have people in the States, you should not be charging people the fucking tariff.
Yeah, but now they've done what they want. They've enraged you. You're not the only one mad about this. Sooner or later, the people will speak again. I mean,
in Zoom later, I'll tell you the online store that I was talking about.
Yeah. Don't say it.
But the RBA I think was like $250 plus the tariff on top of it.
You better be sure spending your money.
So everything in total, I would have been paying like $300. I'm lucky when I spoke to Six Pack Kid, I got the RBA for $150 from him. I was lucky.
But now, go to a brick and mortar, see if they can order what they would get.
Right, that's what I would have to do, because I would have to go to the one that my father and I normally goes to, but guarantee you they wouldn't fucking do that. Even if I was to have them stock the shelves with Stevie's juice, guarantee you they would have to fucking try to figure shit out with him.
But when I bought this guava,
which is still $7.
I could have ordered them online, had it sent to JT, JT could have sent it to me.
Right.
And it was going to cost me $5 more than what I paid for the brick and mortar.
Right.
So sometimes it pays the look.
Well, no, it's the same thing for me with the nicotine. As you know, New York's the same as Maine. I can't get the nicotine.
Yeah.
So I would have to have it shipped to Brett. Brett then would have had to put it into the glass bottles, and then he would have
to put it in glass bottles. We can just repackage and send it back to you.
Right, but the thing is, he was thinking, just put it in smaller bottles. That way, I could have some in the freezer, have one out, just constantly rotate in the refrigerator for me to use for the juice.
I don't know. I just keep it in the freezer. I know you're not supposed to, but I do. But I'm not mixing shake and bake either.
Neither am I. I was telling Stevie, as soon as I get done with the 500 ml bottles and everything, because I was trying to figure shit out with him. I was telling him, I said I was gonna use the 500 ml bottles just to four fucking things, right? The nicotine, the 2 flavors, the VG and the PG, in a 500 ml bottle. I would have went overboard with fucking just using all that shit just for one 500 ml bottle. Because him and I were talking about if I was to fly someplace, like say for example where NorCal is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't need the extra juice. So instead of me, carrying around a bunch of 60 mils and shit like that, or carry around a bunch of fucking 100 mil bottles, I could have just carried the 500 mil. That still would have lasted me right then and there. But then again, with some of the TSA laws, I would have had to carry anything for a carry-on. I would have had to carry anything under 100 mil.
See, that's what if I travel. Now I haven't flown since TSA was established.
I haven't flown in 12 years.
But if I was to travel, now when I went to New York, when I come down to visit you guys, I put all my juice. I shaved my flavoring bar, like everybody does. And this is what I use beside my chair. I filled up 4 of these, 4 for me, 4 for Cali.
Right.
That way, when this is empty, I don't have to worry about refilling it.
Right.
And I carry a 30 mil in my pocket. So when I'm driving, if you're on an airplane, a bus, if you're gonna pay 30 mil, give it up.
Right, and that's why I like going on Amtrak. I had a whole 500 ml bottle of vape juice that I gave to Mark, I told him, I said, "Take that." You know, Amtrak didn't say shit about it.
Amtrak.
Amtrak doesn't give a shit, you know, because you're traveling on the ground.
Yeah, but it's TSA. It's selective because it could be explosive.
Right. Because they don't know the
They don't.
ingredients
Yeah,
in
they
it.
can't test everything. That's why you can't have a big bottle of shampoo, or
Yeah.
the Europeans would get in trouble with the ranch dressing.
Yeah, that's
They would try to
that's
take
why
ranch
half the
off.
that's why half the people like Grim Green and shit like that would get pulled off the line from fucking TSA just to get asked questions about, oh, what's this, what's
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Because there's been so many live streams and so many fucking videos where Grim sat there and bitched and moaned about how he got pulled off a line and shit
But
like
see,
that.
that's kind of his own fault. Put that in your luggage. Unless he's going across like the Canada border. I did watch the guy get in trouble there because he was going to a vape show and he had samples and they made him open every bottle and test every bottle.
Yeah.
Fuckers, Canada, and they bitch about that.
No, I forgot. I forgot who it was. Whether it was Grim Green or Bogan. They said that fucking they got a shit ton of new flavors from the fucking vape event, right?
Yeah.
TSA made them throw every single new flavor away. Brand new bottles too.
But if it put it in the check luggage that I got home.
But another thing is the fact that they won't allow you to carry. And here's what pisses me off too. Whether you're carrying a glass bottle of water or whatever in your, or glass bottle of fucking vape juice, they won't allow you to put that in your check luggage or anything.
No, because glass is a weapon.
Because the fact that they're saying with the bags being thrown around.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
shit like that it could break, and your whole fucking shit could be smelling like a fucking fruity bottle of water or a fruity bottle of fucking vape juice the entire time, and you're fucked.
I double.
I would sit there. I would pull a gym and wrap it in bubble wrap.
But then again, I'm not Grim Green. I'm not traveling with a bunch of stuff. I'm not bringing home a bunch of stuff. I'm just Jim. I just need my mod and my juice.
Exactly. Me personally, Jim, you see me that one day. I had 2 fucking mods with me, two things of fucking juice. You know, that's when I'm normally out. I'm like you. I just take my Boro out. I'm fine. You know. But if I'm traveling, yes, okay, I'll take two fucking things of fucking, you know, mods, 2 things of juice, cotton, whatever, just in case I have to re-wick. You know, and fucking the only thing that I'm wishing I can do is fucking, you know how some of these mods have that little extension piece for burrows, that way you can build it on the fly with the same mod. I wish I had that for my billet box. I really wish I had that. The only device that I know that has that feature, well, 2 mods actually, is the Spire Raga, because in the packaging it comes with it. You got the screw down. You can use the mod as a regular or a regular regulated mod where you can screw down RDA or whatever. And the fucking Torin Mech. Can't find those fucking adapters anyplace unless it's from fucking. I know Nick the 420 kid sent me some a link to something about it where I can just easily get it. But I'm just tired of, like I was telling him, I'm one of those vape consumers that fucking just hate carrying an extra fucking mod.
Yeah.
Like I really am. I'm picky when it comes to shit like that.
I don't carry an extra mod anymore unless I'm going to a park.
Right, and you want to sit there. Right, I'm the type, just in case if I have to re-wick, then okay, I'll carry an extra mod. But all I really need, if I'm going out and I have one specific mod, all I really need is just that adapter part, and that's just really it. You know, and you know, it's hard to find because even Dot Mod started selling that adapter piece though, and it won't even fit in a normal billet box.
Probably I want it on purpose.
Yeah, because it's only made for the .aios and shit like that. That I was so all happy as shit for, you know. But they're all designated, in my opinion, they're all designated for mouth to lung users. Now, me and you aren't MTL users. We're not.
No, I'm not a multi. I don't mind the restrictiveness of this Sparrow, but it's restricted right. No,
right. You and I are both more so a regular direct lung user, you know. But just in case it, like I was telling my father this, if I had to get another dot mod, I would have to get a high end dot mod and shit like that. Like for example, I just seen on the one site that everybody would always go to for the cheap borrow shit, not just borrow shit, but cheap fucking shit like Vandy Vape and shit like that. Fucking, they have this one clone company, Recavate. They made a clone of the Mission XV. Now Bobby fucking buys shit like that. Mission XV, billet box, everything. They made it dot compatible with a DNA 60C chip. So even if I wanted to, I would get that for just to say, hey, I'm getting this for my mouth to lung setup. That's it. And then of course the same company that made that RTA that you like, the fucking early bird.
Oh yeah.
Fucking, they made an RBA that for the billet box called the Seren.
I don't know. I'm impressed with that little Sparrow. I like it.
Dude, if you're so impressed with the Sparrow, you would be so impressed with their fucking RDA and their fucking their mod. Mark reviewed it. He loves the setup.
I'd be interested with the price point.
That again, we'll talk about that on Zoom because as you know, because
that would be the deciding factor. Because everything I got now works. Why would I buy new?
Right.
See, I'm at that stage in my vaping that I've got what I like, and I'm not up on what's out there now.
Right. That's how I normally am. That's why 9 times out of 10 I don't pay attention to what's new.
But you got your thumb on it anyway. I mean, you listen to Good Green, you talk to TV, you talk to Mark.
No, Mark, I talk to every once in a while. We'll talk about new shit that's coming out, but it's just when it's him, it's solely on pod systems that are coming out. That's just it. I'm
not a pod.
We really don't talk about regular mods and shit like that. Like the RDA in the that one mod from Early Bird that I mentioned that he reviewed. I've known those were out for a while because after they came out with the Sparrow, they started dropping like the mod, the Emperor RTA, the Seren. They dropped them like back to back to back, and then once a thing in the UK called Zone happened, they re-released everything. The Sparrow RS. They came out with a new Turnstone. They came out with the new Harrier mod. They came out with the titanium version of the Seren. It's just all, they're just trying to revamp everything, but instead of, and this is no disrespect to Azek, because I know he's gonna pop in at any second, but instead of being like a normal mod where you well, for example, you say you and I started a vape company, right? And we push out one product. For example, if our sole focus was an RDA, we would push it out. Then we would wait 5, 6 months, 7 months, if not a year, before we even came out with a new fucking product. Now, early bird, they were just pushing it 1 month, one product, the next month, the next product. It's like, dude, you're not even giving the fucking products to fucking sell out. Again, this is no disrespect to Early Bird, no disrespect to Azza. I'm friends with Azza from Early Bird and shit like that. It's just so you could have done this shit better because there's already one person that's bitching and moaning about the Sparrow fucking leaking.
I don't have any problem leaking.
But then again, it's because the guy fucking wicked it all fucked up, which is why you.
Now I have on occasion it'll flood, but it won't leak.
He's had that flooding issue, and
Yeah, no, it floods, but then you take a few long holes in it and clear it out.
That's what happened with me with the GT4. I told you I had that cotton, and you kind of figured out it was a cotton issue.
Now the GT5 is unforgiving. That will leak if you look at it wrong.
That'll leak even if you fucking sneeze the wrong way.
That's one I literally wouldn't take on an airplane because of the pressure.
Well, no, you can because of the juice flow control, but
yeah, but I wouldn't dare use it because of the pressure difference. That's such a leaking. Oh my god, that leak.
You know what I would do, Mark? Not Mark. You know what I would do, Jim? I would send it to Mark just to see if he was gonna fuck with it. Because knowing him, I want to see from his point of view. Because he's built on the GT4 since he first originally got it back in 2019. So just to see him fuck with the GT5.
It's very well made. I get it.
Yeah, it's well made, but the GT5 should not be, leaking the way it is. Especially from what Bogan and everybody said about it, it should not be leaking like that.
But then again, I don't think I've had any ball airflow that didn't have a leak.
Yeah. Hey, but listen, at least you didn't do the stupid thing that I did. Put a 6-wrap coil into the fucking RTA with less cotton in it to where it just leaked everywhere.
Yeah, I would have.
Because that's what I did. I put a 6-wrap coil in. I added a half of a wrap to where I had to put less cotton in it, and it fucking leaked everywhere.
That's why I like the Sparrow. I love the Sparrow.
Yep.
And like I said, other than a flood once in a while, I feel it. Not a big deal.
I've never had a flooding issue. I have one when I had the cotton issue, but other than that, I've had no flooding issues. I just had it leak, but then again, that was as you and everybody would always say, that's fucking user error for the fucking GT4. But then again, it's the same thing for fucking RBAs and shit too. I've had RBAs like the Tita RBA and shit like that just leak right through the fucking airflow. It's flooding.
I mean, I've had a lot of ideas too. You can't put 10 drops on the coil leak.
Dude, I've never had RBA leak on me the way the fucking Tita leaked on me.
Never know.
But then again, like I said, that was just user error and shit like that. Because it was, for me, it was either too much cotton or too little cotton for me to fucking, even try to wick on the shit. But then again, like we just said, user error,
Yeah. It's a learning.
It's just, that's why I'm and to be honest with you, Jim, that's why I was I would tell Nick the 420 kid, like I would tell the vaping jester, like I would tell Cheryl from time to time when her and I are on the phone. This is why I'm afraid to get any high end mods, because I'm afraid of the leaking issue. I don't want to sit there ruin the device. I don't want to sit there have the device break on me.
Yeah.
Because of
then you're like me. You're not a
well, I have the only 3 high end things I have: the GT4, the Billa Box, you know,
No. You have high end things, but you're not a high end collector.
right.
It's
Not like
not in
Bobby.
our
Yeah.
blood. It's just one of them things I'm not gonna do.
Yeah, because of the fact that I don't want to take the chance of it. Like I said, I don't want a chance of ruining the mod. And
But I don't collect coins or stamps either. And I don't think that's bad either. So,
right, but like I said, that's just me personally. You know, would I like to have more high end mods? If it's just gonna sit on the shelf, yes. You know, but I just
but
using
I'm
it
not
like
that guy.
right,
I can't put all that money into something to display because that's not my passion.
right. I mean, if I was just to say, for example, just review the product and then have it on the shelf, okay, yes, at least I got my use out of it.
Yeah. Well,
Before
like,
I
have
put
you
it on
ever
the shelf.
watched Nick in Zoom? Back when he used to come in Zoom and he weren't working all the time. But anyway, you would sit there and polish his mod, and you
Yep.
could see the passion in it. He's a collector.
Yeah. You
Bobby,
see,
he's a collector.
yeah, but Bobby never polished the billet boxes.
Oh, Bobby polishes. He just doesn't. He's got his beater mod. But, oh yeah, he takes care of his mod.
Yeah, well, this mod since Night Clover gave it to me, I've been taking care of that. This one, you can see the little wear and tear on
But
it.
that's even if it is high end, that's patina. That shows wear and constant use
Yeah.
and love.
Even the Harpy mod that 6-pack kid sent me, you know, I keep that on the shelf. I've used it a handful of times. Don't get me wrong, I have. But I just keep it on the shelf because me personally, as somewhat of a collector, I'm afraid to drop it and break it.
That's it. That's true. That's why that one Bobby got me for my birthday. Oh, I'm so scared. I've used it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Have I dropped that mod? Yes, but I was lucky it was on carpet here at the house.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm afraid just to take it out just to drop, just to use it and shit like that. That's why I take the billet box with me every single place I go. You know, that's why I stopped taking like dot mods everywhere because of the fact that when I did the school job 2 years ago, fucking I went to the bathroom and shit like that. I bent over, the mod fell out of my pocket, and the whole entire frame just cracked.
Oh.
I was so pissed. I was like, "Fuck my life." But fucking, as Nightbot's already targeting fucking people, the little fucking prick that he is. But yeah, fucking, you know, that's why, like I said, I'm just afraid to, you know, even take any of that shit out, you know. But me personally, if I was to, you know, get any more high end shit, I definitely would.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
I'm done buying stuff. I got so much that I just couldn't. Yeah.
you know, don't get me wrong. What I want, well, I forgot who I was talking to, but I just need to get that one good work mod that where I can take the work with me
You'll find it. You'll find it.
every day. Because with everything that, as you know, everything that Bobby sent me, you know, some of the stuff that you sent me from George and stuff like that when George passed, you know, I don't want to touch that. I want to keep those on the shelf because, you know,
Yeah.
with the way I see it, the mods that Bobby sent me, you know, he did that out of the goodness of his heart, and those are special to me. You know, the same thing with the mods from George. Those are memorabilia from when he passed.
Yeah.
You know,
But I found my work mod is the fog. I need a lot of battery. My sand.
yeah.
Them are the two that I leave the house for one or the other.
Well, yeah, that's why I was looking for a good single 21-700 battery mod.
I'm telling you what, that guy is indestructible.
Oh yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Dropped it, thrown it. I've been mad and slammed it. Fucking like road.
You know, it's just I right before Diet closed. That Cheryl says, "Night bite, you're an asshole." But yeah, I was just looking for a good single 21-700 battery, but right before Diet closed down, and Cheryl talked about this on Vaping Big Show with Brian Ferguson. I called this shit. Half these places closed down right then and there. I said, listen, all these is just every online high end store or everything that's happening with all these shops. I'm calling out right there and there because based off conversations I've had with Six Pack Kid. With all these vaping stores going out of business, vaping dying, the whole nine. It's just that's what because that's from what the topic of conversation him and I had. That's based off from what everybody else is on the information. People like Jay Hayes, Grim Green, Bogan, and everybody else is saying with what's going on in the country and with how YouTube is just striking down every single reviewer possible. It's that's where it's coming to is just the fact that they're trying to end vaping. They're trying to stop. They're trying to get us to go back to smoking. And do I want to go back to smoking? Hell no.
No,
I don't want to sit there and smell like a douchebag the entire time. Exactly. That's what I'm gonna have to go start doing. Cheryl says hi, Jim. Hi, Mr. Kelly. Hi, Mr. Jim.
Hello.
But yeah, that's just me. The only issue is the fact that I would have to try to figure out where the fuck I'm getting my cotton and coils from and all my juice. Even though I would sit there and make my own juice because I have the bottles for it. I have the VGPG. Oh yeah, for sure. But it's just nowadays the only thing that we all keep saying the same thing for is the hardware shit. Because for example, if we get tired of the same hardware that we've been using for years on end, it's just what can we get? Yeah, we can kind of figured out. It's probably the microphone from my computer echoing on his end. We kind of didn't know what was going on with that, Cheryl.
We did roll.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just coming to a point where it's like, okay, what's gonna happen next and shit like that. Even Cheryl says she can't even vape in her apartment. It's just getting to that point. And like I was telling Brian, there's gonna come a point where I'm probably gonna stop vaping because of everything that's going on and shit like that. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to vaping, I wouldn't have met people like you. I wouldn't have met people like Nick. I wouldn't have met people like Six Pack Kid. I wouldn't have met Cheryl. I wouldn't have met so many people in the vape community if it wasn't for vaping.
Are you trying to get sentimental or are you rubbing it?
What?
Are you trying to be sentimental or are you rubbing it?
I'm trying to be sentimental, bitch. In the state of Virginia, you can no longer smoke, vape, or use medical weed.
When did Virginia become New York? New York weed?
Well, that no offense to Cheryl, because that's how you know Virginia became a state full of fucking pussies. If that's the case.
Well, Virginia used to be one of those states.
Yeah, I know Cheryl loves her fucking vaping in her coffee. That's why she that woman right there deserves to sit there and vape as much stuff and drink as much coffee as she wants.
Yes, she does.
And to be quite frank with you, Jim, since she said that that kind of reminds me of fucking Australia, where the government telling them, you can't do this, you can't do that, go fuck yourself. You know, we're controlling everything.
What's more offensive in an apartment? You vaping or somebody cooking fish head soup?
Exactly.
You know?
And you know what? Even when my when the workers from my cousin come to work in the fucking apartment, I just sit there. I just sit on the couch. I mind my business. I fucking vape. They tell them that I'm vaping. They don't fucking say shit. You know, it's just, you know, nowadays all the fucking shit's just getting out of hand. Like we said for Trump. Yeah.
You gotta be considerate. Follow the rules.
But Jim, since when has the United States of America ever followed any fucking rules?
Well, we need rules, but I think they're getting a little ridiculous.
No, that's what I'm saying. With the newer rules that our country has came out with, when have we ever fucking followed them?
Well, our way is to change them, but we can't change them when we get these brainwashed kids.
No, because as you know, Jim, because me, you, and my father have been talking about this in Zoom. Fucking, they're locking up all these other random fucking people that have not done shit wrong, and they're letting out all the criminals. What fucked up shit is that?
Well, that's your liberal lawyers.
Ugh.
Because it's not your crime. Who do you support?
Oh, Jim, my father and I pissed off his brother-in-law 2 times in 1 month. One time my father and I got home. He picked me up from work and shit like that. And him and I were just, you know, drunkenly arguing back and forth. I told him, I said, why don't you go talk to your sister or brother-in-law about fucking Trump? With me knowing the fact that his brother-in-law's outside walking the dog. His brother-in-law saw me, overheard me say that, took the dog, went right back into the car, and sat there in a pissed off rage. Then, yesterday or the day before, my father told him, I said, listen, they're all a bunch of commie bastards. He's like, and then his brother-in-law was like, oh, well, something to do with the speaking wise and shit like that. I think a spokesperson and shit. He's like, well, that's what our president is. He's a spokesperson. Oh, that didn't sit well with my father's brother-in-law.
Oh.
He was pissed off the entire fucking time. I told him, I said, listen, you keep getting pissed off at the president. I'm gonna have to fucking sit there and put a Donald Trump flag on your fucking house. I understand you don't like the guy, but you have to respect the fact that he's done more than any of these other fucking Democrats have. I said, let's face the facts. Yep, I told my father's dumbass sister. I told his brother-in-law. I said because if you look at the facts for when every single Democrat was in office, I told him, I said the prices of food and everything has skyrocketed. I said, but yet, what Republican, and since Donald Trump has been in office as a Republican, have you seen anything else skyrocket, or have you seen shit decrease to make everything beneficial?
Well, gas. We need that.
And I told him, I said minus the gas prices now. I said, but look. I told him, I said, but look at all the shit that happened previously when you had a Republican president. Shit was low. I said, look what happened when Trump was in office the first time around. He got gas prices so low that they were a fucking $1. When have you ever seen gas prices that fucking low? I said, you never have, except for when it was like in the 1900s, leading up to 1997 or 99, which was the last time I can guarantee you saw something that low.
Oh, I can remember the early 70s, 27.
Right, but what I'm saying is, just for the price of $1, Jim, $1, and let's say, for example, $1.50 for gas. That's probably 1999 was probably the last time before they raised it to $2 and change, leading to where it is now. And yet, after I told my father's sister that and his fucking brother-in-law, after I said that, they just stayed quiet. I said, don't sit there and fucking argue with me when you guys don't know jack shit of what's going on. But anyways, Jim, do you have any more fucking
No, I'm good.
Shiver me timbers?
I say, don't be a dick, make somebody smell good. Not hard.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are off this as we did have technical difficulties in the beginning. That wasn't Jim's fault, that was partially mine. So we'll see you next Thursday.
Coffee's done. Bowls out. Peace out.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.